Juston Betz, career high 14 points, 10 rebounds. I think it might be your first double-double. Your thoughts on the game?
Yeah, I thought it was a good game. I think we definitely followed our schemes defensively, played really well on offense for, I would say, 32 minutes. Obviously, they dug into the lead at the end. I think our offense got a little passive and allowed them to be comfortable and get back into the game. But for the most part, I thought we played a really, really good game. I think a lot of people stepped up and did their jobs. And the biggest thing defensively was just following the scout and making them go to plan B, which was big for us.
Anything coming into the game, did you in your mind, was your mindset to score more tonight, or it just kind of came to you tonight?
No, my mindset is never to score more, honestly. But I mean, I was in positions where the best shot for our team was for me to shoot it. I think I got a lot of my points at the free throw line, which is obviously a huge confidence booster. And Dylan did a great job down the stretch from the free throw line. But most of my buckets come off teammates, and I'm at the rim, and especially from Dylan, CJ, Alec, Ethan, Kurt, Garrett, Sam. I don't really ever create my own shot, but I just happen to be in the right spot at the right time tonight.
Then rebounding, of course, you've been rebounding well all season long.
Mm-hmm.
Tonight you grabbed 10. What's your rebounding strategy?
I mean, I would say it's 90% just effort going after it. But I also just try to track the ball, where it's coming from, where I think it's going to land, and just positioning myself, especially on offense rebounding, to try to get that angle. But yeah, again, like Kurt blocks out harder than anybody. Ethan blocks out, and then I'd say half my rebounds are just right in my hands just because they do such a good job of keeping their man away.
Juston, you mentioned the free throws.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it seemed like missing kept you guys from pulling away, but then it also actually sort of sent you to the win. Did you feel like that? I mean, when you really needed them the most, it seemed like you guys hit them.
Yeah, we did. And there was another game this year earlier in the season where we had that same thing. In the second half, I think we went 100% from the free throw line. I know that wasn't the case tonight, but we hit them in the stretch. So that in itself, I think it's a maturity thing. I think that we all understand what it takes to win games. And obviously defensively, we have some stuff to clean up at the end of games. But free throws are big tonight.
It seemed like it was a pretty physical game tonight. Did that change what you guys were able to do or wanting to do?
I mean, it affected it a little bit. I think we adjusted. At halftime, we talked about how physical they were being on our cuts. And we're obviously a cutting team that moves a lot, so they're trying to jam up the paint. But I think that we responded to the physicality well. Obviously, there's going to be games where it's more physical and it's not called that tight, and games where it is. But again, I think that comes with just playing so many games, and we got to adapt and get better at that. And Dylan did an awesome job in the second half. I know he was in foul trouble the first half, but he's huge for us down the stretch.
4-0 in the conference, you feel like that target's getting a little bigger?
I hope so. Yeah, and we got a big one against Jacksonville Saturday. I think top 3 defensive team in the country in points per game, so that's a big challenge for us. And I know they were at Liberty tonight, so we're going to get prepared for them. And then a big week next week, obviously, with 3 conference games. So got a great opportunity ahead of us. One more home game before we hit the road. But 4-0 is a good feeling. And in any conference, that's tough to do.
Okay, first of all, great win. It's a conference win. Hey, that Tony does a heck of a job coaching basketball, man. And we have as much respect for them as anybody in this league. And from a teaching standpoint, our late game execution was tremendous. And we had to execute. A full court pass, get the ball in bounds where you run the baseline, get the ball in bounds on a spot, hit free throws late game, switch out to shooters late game. Our late game execution was very good. And those are teachable moments. We practice them every day. We drill them every day. We execute every day. But when you do it in competition, the light's on, that's a learning situation. Team-wise, we are getting healthier. Ethan is getting back. Juston is feeling better. Bash has been released. He's fine. Nick is still getting closer and closer. He's starting to be able to shoot, and we're trying to extend him. Baylor is back still in a boot with his toe. And I just waited. I mean, Juston Betz. That locker room to go 14-10, all they want to do was celebrate Juston Betz. And I'll tell you, when you coach college basketball and your team celebrates each other, that's special. And that's coming from inside That's not coming from a coach. That's coming from them, because it means so much more when it comes from them. And I couldn't be more proud of them. And I want to acknowledge Coach McDonald was at our practice yesterday with some of his players, and he came back today, and we actually walked up the ramp together, and I said, he started talking, breaking down the game, and I said, Coach, it's January 18th. They've heard a lot from me. You want to say something to them? And he was tremendous, and I appreciate him. I mean, his brother's a basketball coach, so he does talk basketball, and that's, And now the last thing I want to talk about, Saturday. All right, it's Louisville, Kentucky, January 22nd. Kentucky plays at Auburn at 1:30. Louisville's honoring Russ Smith, playing Notre Dame at 4, and it's Freedom Hall at 7. Now, I've said repeatedly that we're the greatest college basketball fans in the world. I understand the value of high def. I understand. But we need you Saturday night in Freedom Hall. What a day of basketball. Kentucky, Auburn, Louisville, Notre Dame, Bellarmine, Jacksonville. That's a heck of a triple header. And to cap it off in Freedom Hall, and I'm going to tell you this. If you say, well, Coach, why? I'll tell you, because it means the world to our players. And I'm doing this totally for them. And I think they earn it every single day, and I think they deserve it. But I can tell you this, unequivocally, they will appreciate it. Will, you got anything?
Juston Betz, you see him every day. Did you see this coming?
Oh, yeah. Here's the stat. There's over 180 basketball players in the Atlantic Sun. A-Sun. Add them up, 12 teams. There's over 180 players. He's number 3 in the league in rebounding. I do see it every day. So my challenge, I look at those other guys. Why aren't you like that guy? What if everybody rebounded like that at 6'2"? It's just a knack for the ball. He goes after every ball. He's getting healthier. He's working and working and working at it. Brad and Dr. McKee, we're working at him. And believe me, we're treating him with Nick Gluss. But he, and to step up as he did with the game on the line and go 8 out of 10 from the line, that's a tremendous boost in his confidence. But as a coach, there's nobody works harder at him than he does. And they win in.
Coach, if anything was ever wrong with him, I could never tell.
Just beat up, banged up. Yeah, it's not specific. Adam, he plays with the heart of a champion. He plays with the heart of a champion.
Another guy had a good night, Dylan Penn.
But it was a great learning situation, Dylan, to play 7 minutes in the first half. And I was really proud of him because, he goes 7 for 12, 6 or 8 from the line. And he really, he's so tough on himself. He is. But how would you like to be on that bench in that first half when he's got to sit there that whole time, chomping at the bit? But he has learned so much as a person, as a player, as a teammate, and he keeps learning. And that's, as a coach, that's very rewarding.
Physicality in this game, did that change what you wanted to do?
No doubt about it. Yeah, it was a very physical game. It really was. Very fair, but very physical.
I guess while we got you want to preview Jacksonville?
Third best defensive team in the country. New staff. Coach came off the staff at the University of Florida. We've already done all the advanced scout on them. They're a quality opponent. Now, I know they had a tough game today, but it was a 10-point game at halftime at Liberty, and it didn't go their way in the second half. They are a quality, very, very athletic. They have a totally revamped roster. They're a quality opponent. They're a big-time defensive team.
I asked the same question to Justin. Do you feel that target from the rest of the league starting to get bigger and bigger now you're 4-0?
No, I don't. What did he say?
Just a little bit.
No, I don't. I mean, when the ball's thrown up, that last 2 minutes, the emotion of that last 2 minutes, then it comes down to execution. And this always has and always will be a team game. And that's who wins games.